like to see people falling in love, and I like to see people, getting together, falling in love, nice relationships, maybe trying to have a baby. I love to see people in love. I do. I think love is a beautiful thing. But what I don't like is when love starts to become corrupted, and when people try to change the energy of love and they try to manipulate it and corrupt it. And one of the forms of that, and this happens to women a lot, is when women start to get sabotaged by their lovers. This happens to women all the time. The most recent person it happened to was the Wizard Liz. In that clip, you guys saw Mariah the Scientist. She's a wonderful singer, R&B. Oh, she's amazing. She's a star. She's a star. I literally fell in love with her music when I heard the song Always and Forever. I heard the song Always and Forever on TikTok. I love the TikTok version. And the minute I heard that song, I fell in love with the track. I fell in love with her music. That was the first track of hers I heard, and I just fell in love immediately. And she's a star, and I see big things in her future. But the only thing is, I also see her future getting stunted because Mariah, I don't know her personally, but I'm just speaking on just the downloads that I get from just looking at her pictures. Mariah has a strong desire for love. She wants love more than anything. And I think that there wasn't a lot of love in her childhood. There wasn't a lot of love in her life. She never really felt loved. So as a result of that, she fights really hard for love. And there's nothing wrong with that. The problem that Mariah has to understand is you have to fight for the right kind of love, not a love that can potentially be the cause of your own demise. She is a star. She is a star. But if she allows the possession to get too far, her career will pay for it. Her career will pay for it. That's what I see in her future. So she has a choice to make. That's what I see. She has to make a decision. And not just in regards to who she's with. In life. You have to pick your craft and your dream and your goal. You must pick your calling. You must pick what you are here to do. And she's here to transform the world with her music. That is her art. That is her escape. You can't allow that to disintegrate in the name of love. And a jealous spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend, they just destroy everything. And I always tell a woman, don't let a man be the downfall of your progress. Gentlemen, don't let a woman be the downfall of your success. When it comes to your dreams, we don't play with our dreams. Dreams are a part of our life path. We don't play around with the talents and gifts that God gave us. We don't allow people to manipulate us out of that. Put them on that leash. Let's get them on that leash. Let's keep them from the world. Let's start to limit their exposure because we don't want people to see your light. It's telling. It's so telling. It's so telling because you know what? These doctrines that I'm teaching you guys, it's like it's gonna get to a point where people are gonna start to feel very underwhelming. Because you already know how it's going to play out. When somebody is hyper talented, especially as a woman, it's so unfortunate. I feel like this happens more to women than anyone else. When somebody is hyper talented and you're a star, people are going to try and control you and kind of like try to hide you. That's why you don't get invited to the party. That's why you don't get invited to the events, because you'll steal the show. People know that. You're that girl. You're that guy. You show up, it's up for everybody, because that's how powerful your essence is. There is no show or party until you walk in. That's your vibe. Now, the problem is when you have a lover or a spouse that knows that that's your vibe, and they start using love. Let me not say love. Love is so sacred. I need to stop using that word because that's not what they're doing. They start using romantic gestures to see if they can use that as a way to stop you from mingling or speaking to certain people. Like, for example, we saw the clip in the beginning. We saw that clip. You guys saw the clip. We knew what he was doing. He was like, hey, babe, no, just come over here with me. No, baby, I want you to be with me. No, baby, I want you to stick with me. Let's go home. Let's go home. But you can tell in her face, she saw that he was just trying to keep her off the red carpet. He was trying to keep her from signing autographs and speaking to her fans. Mariah the Scientist is a star. She needs to speak to her fans. She needs to sign autographs. She needs to talk and mingle to people on the red carpet who will give her an opportunity. And you're trying to stop that. That's the possession that I'm talking about that women have to be aware of, and men, because it happens to men too. Listen, in the industry that I work in, I've seen certain women purposefully sabotage deals and sabotage major investments that their husbands can be a part of. Their wives or girlfriends will sabotage it because they know what? What happens to a man? When a man has more money, they will get more options. So some women will purposefully keep their husbands from signing off on multi-million-dollar deals because she knows if he cashes out, she's getting the boot. And it's like, why can't you just be confident in the love that you guys share? If you're with someone and you feel like if they get too famous or if they get too rich, things are going to change, then that means that that's a conversation. You need to have a conversation with your person and let them know, I'm going to keep it real. Like, your fame, it's scaring me. I feel like you're going to get too big for the world and you're going to forget about me. And what men don't understand, that if a woman loves you, the more you support her down the line of her career, the more in love she falls with you. Because when women love, majority of the time when women love, it's not on false pretenses like control and manipulation. Men have to grow out of that. Control and manipulation is not love. And they keep using that and they wonder why their relationships are not working out, because you're not approaching that woman with love and care. You're trying to possess and control her. That's not love. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not fear. Love does not boast. Control is not love. And if you see that you're with a woman and she's getting too big, gentlemen, just have a conversation with her and say that your fame makes me feel fear about our relationship. And I promise you, when a woman loves you, she loves you. That's one thing I can say about women. When women love, they love. They love. And if she loves you and you support her, you have no fear about her getting too big. The bigger she gets, the more you're going to be her safe haven. But that ego that a lot of men have, that superiority complex causes them to destroy beautiful things. And Mariah is a star. And if this doesn't work out and she continues to let this happen, like what happened on the red carpet, if she continues to allow this to happen, it's going to put her career on the line. So this is just my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. I personally think that when somebody's on the verge to becoming very successful, that is the time where you need to be very limited with who you have around you. And today, our person of subject, or the topic today, is Mariah the Scientist. I like Mariah the Scientist. There will be no Mariah the Scientist bashing. I like her. I like her music. And I feel like she's destined for greatness. And I do believe that she is a star. However, if she makes the mistake that a lot of women make, she will not have her stardom. Okay? She will not have her stardom if she makes the mistake that a lot of women make. If she makes the mistake that a lot of people make, she will miss the mark. And when I talk about this stuff, a lot of people, it kind of rubs them the wrong way sometimes, because they're like, Mel, how could somebody miss their mark? Yeah, people miss their mark all the time. And the number one way that you miss your mark is by allowing somebody who does not want to see you successful into your life. Now, I saw the video of her going down the red carpet with Young Thug. I don't even know if he's still called that. And he was essentially pulling her away from the crowd, and he was essentially not really allowing her to mingle. Now, is Mariah the Scientist a bright star? There is 100% a possibility that she is, and I'm going to tell you why. I personally think that when people see your potential before you do, and they see your potential for greatness before you do, what's going to happen is they're going to try to get in the middle of that greatness. That's why I told you guys in my other videos, when it comes to me being successful and reaching my goals, I don't let anybody get in my way. I don't let anybody stunt me or try to get in the path of where I'm trying to go. And sometimes that can be so offensive to people, but it's not offensive. It's me understanding that you can miss the mark if you allow people to get in your way. And sometimes a relationship will be the thing to get in your way. A friend will be the thing to get in your way. Family will be the thing to get in your way. That's why I always tell women and men, when it comes to your success and you reaching your goals, you have to be ruthless about that. And you have to be very unapologetic about that, because if you're not, people will get a foothold in your environment and they're going to stunt the progress that you were trying to make. For Mariah the Scientist, when I saw that clip of her boyfriend pulling her away and then putting his middle finger up to the crowd that was essentially trying to get her attention, I could tell, I saw her looking back, and it was so sad because when she looked back, I could tell that she wanted to stay. I can tell that she wanted to mingle. I can tell because Mariah the Scientist is a developing artist, okay? So it's important for her to make connections with the right people on those red carpets so they can offer her an opportunity. The problem is when you have a man that's getting in the way, okay? And many women, their downfall is going to be allowing a man to come in and destroy their plans. And the reason why I'm a lot more strict on women when it comes to stuff like this is because I feel like men don't really allow women to come into their life and start making adjustments. Men are the definition of self-preservation. Men do not change, alter, recreate, or rebrand their program for women. Men do not do that. Men do not change their program for women. They do not do that. If you can't do it, or you can't, if you can't be the woman, the right woman for them, he's going to just move on to another one. Men do not allow women to change their program, but women allow men to change their program. And that's where the problem lies. And Mariah, she's a star. She's beautiful. She's deep. She has a beautiful voice. She is a star. I know a star when I see one. Okay, I know a star when I see one. Mariah the Scientist is a star, and she's a bright star too, because her music speaks to you on a soul level. There's not much R&B that speaks to your soul. When Mariah sings, it speaks to your soul. If you listen to Mariah the Scientist, one of my favorite songs by her is Always and Forever. I love that song. The moment I heard it on TikTok, I just fell in love with it. And I'm like, who is the woman singing this beautiful tune? And it was Mariah the Scientist. And if she, okay, I'm going to go there. If she's not careful and she puts this relationship ahead of her success, she's going to regret it. She's going to regret it. And I'm not saying that the relationship has to end, but she definitely has to put her foot down, because you want to win, right? And that's one of the questions I always ask women when I'm talking to women. I ask women all the time, do you want to win? Do you desire to win? Because if you don't want to win, I can't help you. If you want to win, I can help you. I can't help women who don't want to win. My advice and teachings do not work for women who don't want to win. They only work for women who desire to be at the top and they want to win in life. So if Mariah the Scientist wants to win, things are going to have to change. Because when I saw that red carpet clip, it was just giving me PTSD of what so many people do. When they see that somebody is destined for greatness, they try to get in the way of that. I see it all the time. And it's not just from men. It's from men and women. Your friends will see that you're destined for greatness, and that's when they start acting very, very, very unhinged, and they start doing whatever it takes to sabotage you out of your successes. And I always tell people, I'm one of those women, I'm not letting not even a fly get in my way. The only person that can get in my way is God. I don't allow people to get in my way when I have my mind on a goal, when I have my mind on a success, on a pinnacle that I want to reach. I don't let men get in my way. I don't let women get in my way. And I know they will try, because people can see your destiny before you do. People can see your talent before you do. People can see what's in you before you do. You need to understand that. That's why they come at you so hard. You don't see it, but they do. And sometimes you're in it and you still don't see it. So when a man is struggling with feelings of inferiority, now let me tell you what's going on here. I strongly believe that if Young Thug was at the level he was at before, right? And I'm not saying he's not talented, because he absolutely is. But if Young Thug was at the level that he was at before, you know, when he was with, he wasn't with Young Money, he was with, what was that group? Can somebody put it in the comment section? Young Thug was a part of the other one, Rich Homie Quan, I think, and Birdman. What was the name of their group? I forgot what it was called, but they had their own group. And he was, listen, 2014, 15, 16, Young Thug was running the rap game around that time. Okay, he was running it. He was like number one. Him and Rich Homie Quan, they were running the game. This was years ago when I was in high school. So they were running the game around that time. But now that's not the case, especially because he was incarcerated and he just got out. Now it's Mariah's turn. She held him down and she waited. And now that he may not be at the level he was at before, there may be some type of intimidation going on. And I always tell women, please, I beg of you. I beg of you, I beg of you, I beg of you, I beg of you, I beg of you. Please do not allow a man to come into your life and start disrupting your program. I'm not saying not to fall in love. I'm not saying not to get married. I'm not saying not to have children. I'm not saying not to fall in love. I love love. Love is beautiful. I would never say that. I would never say that. Love is a beautiful thing. I love to see people in love. I love to see, people are like, we're trying to have a baby. I love love, and I love marriage, and I love union. I think it's a beautiful thing. But what I don't like is when you're sacrificing your calling, or you're sacrificing your dreams and goals in the name of love. That's what I have a problem with. That is where love becomes unhealthy. Okay? That's when love becomes unhealthy, when you are now throwing away your passions in the name of love. That's where it becomes toxic. And throwing away your passions in the name of love, that only happens to women. Men do not change their program for love. Men don't change their lifestyles for love. That's why they'll switch as many women as they need to. And they want to make sure that you're on their program, because men do not switch their program in the name of love. Men do not operate that way. I need women to understand that men practice self-preservation. That's why when they get married to women, they have longer lifespans, because while he's putting himself first, his wife is putting him first too. That's why they outlive their wives. Okay? So ladies, I want you to understand that if you are in a relationship with a man who is stunting your growth, or he's jealous and he's trying to keep you from being your best, that needs to come to an end. Because that would mean that you have to sacrifice your dreams, which are rightfully so yours. God blesses us with dreams and talents. And if somebody is asking you to throw those dreams and talents away, do you think that that's love? I don't think that's love. I think that's control. And many people get love and control confused. That's why I talked about this in the video about friendship. Most people don't know what friendship is. Most people don't know what love is. So a lot of people, friendship is you can be my friend as long as you're lower than me or you're the sidekick. And people think that love is we can have love as long as I can control you. Neither of those things are based in the beautiful depth of friendship and love. Love is seeing the beauty, the depth, the intelligence, the talent, and the star in your significant other, and pushing them to be their best and loving on that person. That's love, not holding them back because of your own personal insecurities. And that is what I feel like is going on here, unfortunately. You cannot take down control freaks, Jezebels, and Leviathans if you don't have respect and boundaries. Respect and boundaries, part 2. All of us in life have our own individual power. The problem is when you give that away by being a habitual people pleaser. And respect and boundaries, part 2, we will be doing a deeper dive into how to respect yourself and how to also ensure that the people around you are giving you the same respect that you also give yourself. In addition to that, we have Defeat Jezebel and Leviathan on June 29th, following the Respect and Boundaries Part 2. In order to deal with lower level controlling entities, you need to know how to spot them within individuals and know how to navigate them. In other words, vampires, sociopaths, narcissists all fall under the Jezebel and Leviathan umbrella. In this class, I'm going to teach you how to spot people who have these entities operating in them, how to respond to them, and how to protect yourself from them on a both spiritual and physical level. You guys do not want to miss these master classes. Very, very important.